What was the name of it?
The song?
Yeah.
I Will Follow You Into the Dark.
And this was before bed?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, right. And maybe a bad choice. Obviously a bit of a bad choice, but I was just going for the low energy, mellow kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he is, oh, oh, now you can see my mess. I got to change this shit. What the globe and a basketball hoop back
Hoop
there?
back there? What's in that box over your right
Nothing.
shoulder?
It's just a big empty box because Megan shipped eBay and I got her eBay workstation behind me and I got a
Right
bologna
on. You got a
sandwich
little
here.
packing peanuts and
All that.
bubble wrap.
Yeah. But anyway, I thought Chris would appreciate my future emo boy reacting so sadly to an emo song.
This is right up there with that audio book you were listening to right before bed.
Hatchet.
Hatchet.
Hatchet went well. Yeah, that was great.
So how many nights do you think like Ben Gibbard has scared your son into bedtime?
Dad, I don't want to go to bed.
It was like really sweet and sad at the same time, right? He came and sat on my lap and he was like, can you cuddle me for a minute? And I was like, okay, what's going on? And he's like, I don't want you to die. I was like,
yeah.
Fuck.
Welcome back to No Vacancy. When we launched this podcast, the goal was simple. Have real conversations with real people about what it actually takes to succeed in self-storage. No scripts, no corporate talking points. Just honest discussions about operations, revenue management, leadership, customer experience, technology, and everything in between. Over the course of Season 1, we've been fortunate to sit down with incredible guests, hear amazing stories, challenge conventional thinking, and share plenty of laughs along the way. From industry veterans and innovators to entrepreneurs and thought leaders, every conversation reinforced one thing. This industry is powered by great people. Now we're kicking off Season 2, and we're taking things to the next level. Expect bigger conversations, fresh perspectives, more industry insights, and the same authentic, unscripted style that got us here. Whether you're an owner, operator, manager, vendor, or simply someone passionate about self-storage, there's a seat at this table for you. So grab your coffee, turn up the volume, and settle in. This is No Vacancy.
Yeah, I mean, those lyrics, they're incredible.
So then I really kind of like, it's a song I've heard so many times now. Like every time I hear the lyrics, I'm not necessarily...
Oh, no. Here comes the discovery by Dad.
No. I know what the song's about. I'm just saying, like, you hear it enough times and you're just kind of used to it, And so, like, it made me reflect on the lyrics, and I was like, yeah, okay, I get this now. I can understand why he's suddenly contemplating all of our own mortality. And
wow.
That's when you pop on an episode of Bluey.
Today on No Vacancy, we are happy to welcome Jessica Johnson, Melissa Stiles, and Holly Fiorello. 3 great self-storage advocates who have all been in the industry for longer than they want to admit, and we want to mention on this podcast. Mm-hmm. And we're just going to get right to it. Jessica, Holly, Melissa, thank you all for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me and us.
Thank you. Pleasure. So we really just want to get started with how you got into the business. Melissa, let's start with you. How did you find self-storage?
Yeah, I mean, it's not really any cool story. I just answered a blind ad for a marketing position and met Jay and Alyssa, the founders of Storage Asset Management, really liked them and saw some things that I could immediately make an impact on within marketing, within our website, those type of things. And thought I came from the international world. I worked for the World Trade Center. So I thought I would do storage for a year and then go back into the international world just to get some other experience. And here I am 12 and a half years later, still in the storage industry.
Wow. It's amazing. It's amazing how it just keeps you right there. You meet so many great people and you see so much growth and potential in an industry and you just get locked in.
Yeah. Alyssa did tell me when I took the job that I'd probably never leave storage. And I didn't believe her at the time, but now 12 and a half years later, starting to believe her.
Nice. That's great. That's great. Jessica, how did you come to self-storage?
Yeah, not similar to Melissa, but kind of the same. It wasn't anything glorious. I actually was talking with a group, and they had an opportunity to launch a business, and they needed somebody to help launch the business. And I went in. Unfortunately, that side was a little bit of a failure to launch. Just the concept that was originally thought just didn't pan out to be what we had anticipated. And it's like, oh, and we have this storage business over here too. So since this one's not working, like, let's have you work on the storage side. I'm like, that wasn't part of the deal. And I really don't want to work in storage, but got into it, fell in love with it. And like Melissa said, I don't think I'll ever leave it now. Sadly, I'm heavily invested from the vendor side, now the owner side too. I've got my money wrapped up in a couple properties, personal money. So, that makes it personal, obviously.
Sure.
Yeah. And it's been great.
Yeah, absolutely. It is wonderful. How long have you been on the owner side of things?
Probably over the last 4 years now, I'd say, is when I stepped into the ownership role heavily.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
So
And
about
how have you found that
47,
experience?
real quick. Sorry, Chris. So
Yeah.
about 47 months and 29 days more than Holly. I heard Holly just,
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
congratulations is in order for you.
Oh, thank you so much.
It is.
Was that just yesterday that
Yeah,
closed on it?
yesterday. No, actually Wednesday it closed.
That's awesome.
So yesterday was the first day I woke up as an owner.
Okay.
I gotcha. So doing a little research on your new acquisition, have you told your family that you're relocating back to Michigan, or is that just, the map looked pretty close to the hometown
Yeah.
when I was looking at the location.
Yeah, it's we're gonna actually go visit it this summer, and we're gonna go visit my family's still in Michigan. That's where I'm from, so we're gonna go check it out. But I don't think I could get my husband to move to Michigan, even though we're in Pennsylvania. He's a Jersey boy through and through, so I don't think he's a Midwest.
Gotcha.
Right.
Congratulations, Holly. That's
Thank you.
excellent. All right. So we're all here for marketing purposes. I know very little about marketing. Andrew? Take
All
it
right,
away.
my cue. Let's do it. What part of self-storage marketing do you find yourselves paying the most attention to lately? And I know this is kind of an obvious question because with AI now at the forefront of everything, is there anything specific with AI that you're focusing on? Is there anything beyond or that you're still focusing on?
Me to jump in. They're like, yes. So I think for us, it's so many things, right? And I always say you use AI, for streamlining processes, but you humanize for relationships. But still, I think we're seeing, more than almost half of global consumers are starting to use AI to start any search that they do. And so we are really focused in measuring our AI visibility now. So how do our storage facilities show up on the different models? So how we're tracking it every month over month. How did we show up on ChatGPT? How did we show up on Claude? How are we showing up on Perplexity? And so then being able to use that and then adjusting our strategy. So do we need to, do more content on a certain theme that we're not showing up well on those models for? Do we need to look at some ads in some other places as well? So that is what we're really focused on, is the search visibility on the AI models and how we can better show up.
Yeah, and I'll piggyback on that with Melissa's comments. We are as well. AI visibility is extremely critical. That's what we're really looking at. We're actually releasing a product through the storage group next week that gives this availability. And I love these stats, and I want to share these stats because I think they're phenomenal. ChatGPT reached 365 billion searches in 2 years. That took Google 11 years to achieve that same metric. So I've even noticed in my own search, I search differently now too. I mean, I almost always go to ChatGPT. I will say it's device dependent because I have the paid version of ChatGPT on my desktop. I don't on my phone. So if I'm on my phone, I typically will go to Google, but if I'm in front of my, desk working, everything I run through chat is where I ask all of my questions now. I hardly ever go to Google anymore. So I see that shift. And like Melissa was saying, almost half of the consumer base out there, 75% of people today are now using AI more than they were last year. So, I mean, like, you can't ignore these type of numbers, right? They're all over, you're close to 50% or well over. You've got to pay attention to these numbers.
Yeah, I'll get 1 second, Holly. I'll let you chime in there, but we also track AI traffic, and we've seen a huge shift in the customer behavior, especially organic. We're starting to see a lot less come from here. We're seeing more from ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity. We've even seen a few rentals come in through there, which is kind of cool to be able to see those start to come through. But the changing landscape over even the last, I'd say 12 months has been so accelerated. I don't think I've ever seen something in marketing that's kind of changed that quickly. Just wanted to jump in there. Sorry, Holly.
Yeah. No, sorry. Just to add to that, Andrew, real quick, is to your point, what we've seen is we're seeing, there's still minimum traffic compared to other referrals to our websites, but they are highly engaged and they are converting much faster, much quicker, and at a higher rate than any other traffic source too.
Yep. Absolutely. So to that point, you might see some, organic start to decrease, but your lead quality is certainly increasing to another level. It's scary because we're used to seeing those traffic numbers come in, but at the same time, the traffic numbers that are coming in now, it's just so much more qualified.
Yeah. You always see a lot of people get wrapped up on the traffic numbers. While traffic's important, the rental's the most important piece, right?
Absolutely.
The conversion's what we want. So it's like, if you can get that better quality lead that's going to convert, you really need to start to understand that while the traffic numbers are still important, they're maybe not as critical as like they used to be, right?
Yep. Absolutely.
Speaking of AI and what we're typing into chat, among others, do you feel like the education a consumer gets from the AI response is going to help the more independent operators because of what AI is pulling from reviews and feedback of the larger REITs?
It's interesting. I do think if we look at like when we chart visibility, we do get, where the other operators are in those markets that we're in. And we do see, we're up there with the REITs, but then we do see that there's these small operators too. Like in one market we just looked at yesterday, a facility they've been open for, 5+ years, and they finally just got a website, and now they're showing up in the AI visibility too, which they were never before because they didn't have a website. So I do think, to your point, it lends well. And one of the things that I was talking about yesterday to someone is I think AI starts to become its own aggregator too, right? Where you can easily compare and pull in.
That's what I was going to say. I think that it does help the independent operators because it's decentralizing the power away from Google and Google Ads. So now you have all these other channels where you're not right now. It's not pay to play, so to speak. So you can show up in the results rather than a re-owning the first page of ads or search results. So I think that part is really interesting. There's also a podcast I listened to a couple months ago, and it was an adjacent industry, but the speaker was talking about how he was looking for like a financial advisor, and he was going through the prompts. I think at the time he was using ChatGPT, and he's like, "Well, why did you pick this financial advisor based on this one's closer, this one's got better reviews?" And it basically like made the decision for him because it found out that they went to the same school that he went to, and they thought that the ChatGPT thought that he would prefer to work with someone that was his alumni. And that to me is really interesting because the AI is making the choice now. It's not an algorithmic type thing like they're making the decisions rather than giving a list and us making the decisions. So I think that part's interesting. I don't know how far that will mature, but he had basically just kept prompting to figure out why that was the response. So I know obviously we can all do that with our own businesses.
Yeah, I think it helps the independent owner as well, because what you can do to feed the AI search engines through organic SEO measures, like making sure your website is the best website out there, right? You're adding content to it, you're updating your, we focus on the frequently asked questions and how to make them more conversational, because obviously AI is going to pick that up. Your listings is another critical piece where AI is getting some of these citations from, followed by reviews. So I think if you can own those three categories, website, listings, and reviews, as an independent operator, you will suit well against some of the REITs in your market.
Yeah, you got a chance.
Yeah, and we've been seeing that because we keep track of like we try to summarize each location, because we're not a huge operator, but we try to do it on a location by location basis and take a look at what customers are saying about that business specifically, and then we try and compare that obviously to any kind of competitors in the area. A lot of the markets that we're in are REIT driven, so it's it can get tough for us. But I do think that, to Chris's point at the beginning of all this, there's a opportunity for smaller operators to put their stamp on this if everything is done correctly, which for a smaller operator like we are at 23 locations is trying to compete with the REITs from a spend standpoint has been almost impossible over the past couple of years. So this is, I think this is good for the industry moving forward.
And I'd say, just to add on top of that, one of the easiest exercises an independent operator can and should do is run through, whether it's Chat, Claude, whatever you use, your website URL versus your 1 mile, 3 mile, 5 mile competitor's URL, and ask for a SWOT analysis on what's different on their website versus mine, rather than you scanning all of those websites and trying to find it yourself. Let AI do the heavy lift. And if they have the same amenities and features as you do and it's on their homepage and yours is buried on a different page, like, those are easy corrections you can make to your website that have huge impact and keep you competitive against your local market.
Sure.
I feel like it reminds me of SEO in like the early 2000s, when it was just like, if you updated the website accordingly, you automatically were ranking. And I feel like AI's kind of given us that again, as it's early in its evolution. But I feel like if you are just doing the right things that you're supposed to, and setting your site up for the AI to be able to read it, right, you're in a really good spot.
Yep.
Yeah.
A quick break to talk about something that's changing marketing faster than anything we've seen in years: AI search. More people are asking ChatGPT, Gemini, and other AI platforms for recommendations instead of traditional search engines. At Access, we're helping self-storage operators optimize their websites and content so they're not just ranking on Google, they're becoming the answer AI recommends. If you're wondering how your business can stay ahead, let's start the conversation. Now, back to the show.
Putting AI aside, we have two owners on the call. What's the first thing you did or are planning to do marketing-wise for your own facilities? What was the first thing you did?
Yeah, we're using a visibility report right now to see how we rank with, the different AI engines. It shows us how we rank against our competitors. It gives actionable insights and it was so easy. Like, one of them is we needed more reviews. And I already knew that, right? So now I'm going to do a review campaign. So when you get those very tangible, do this, like, well, don't ignore the system. It's giving you the output of what you need to do. So now we're testing and we're going to track to see those, hopefully those KPIs go up once we make some of these changes.
Nice. Holly, same question. What are you going to do?
Well, Peter is managing the property, so I'll have to call and ask Peter what he's going to be doing. But to start, I know it will be moving over to the Citizen Storage brand, And Melissa actually managed the property before the deal went through, so she probably has it teed up nice already with occupancy and whatnot. So
Yeah. Andrew?
Yeah. So getting away from AI a little bit, because we should talk about other things besides AI.
Hi.
What I know,
Just teasing.
because everybody's talking about it. What are you seeing as some of the most underutilized channels that may have been around for a little while that operators are either just ignoring or they're not paying enough attention to?
Yeah, I mean, for us, the influencer channel still is bringing in a very good ROI. Identifying different people, and to be honest with you, the ones that worked best have been already a tenant at our facility and just happen to have a big social media following. And so just capitalizing on that and utilizing them that way. I will say it's interesting because our referral traffic, so like if you are a tenant with us and you're referring someone else to us, is up as well. So our rentals from people referring other ones is up this year. What we are seeing is our drive-by traffic is down. So all of our other channels are up. As far as the marketing is concerned, except for drive-by, which tells me more people are obviously going online. They want to trust other people. So whether that trust is with the influencer, with your friend referring you to the storage facility, or through AI, it's really about what you trust now, instead of just, hey, I pass that facility every day and I know nothing about it. It's all about information and trust and how they're making their decisions.
Yeah, I want to be Melissa when I grow up with influencer marketing. We're just tapping into it. We're really doing it on a local level, like local realtors are our best source right now, but we haven't gone to the level that Sam has. We're not as big a portfolio, but definitely user-generated content. It's wildly popular. People love it, right? They trust. I mean, I love TikTok. I go to TikTok to find like new restaurants and new hotels and new experiences now because I'm a visual person. I went to art school. Like I love visuals. So I can see that video. I can live the experience like kind of before I even go and know what to expect. Whereas, sometimes you rely on maybe like a Google business profile, you get catfished with some of the photos, like these are real people's real experiences. So I love that. I think the most underutilized channel still that I see, especially working on our client side with TSG, is Google Business Profile Optimization. Like they're not posting weekly. They're not listing, their inventory where people can rent straight from Google and not even have to go to their website. They're just not hitting all the bells and whistles to make that a fully optimized profile. And it's so easy to do. Google walks you through it basically, or you can hire, a third-party resource that is experts in it to do it for you. But it's a really great mechanism to still get, visibility and traffic and obviously the SEO and rankings and all that good stuff.
I know this will be a hot take from a technology representative, but I think grassroots marketing is still kind of undervalued, especially like with the rise of the remote facilities and things of that nature. Like getting out into the community, I think is invaluable. I know, Melissa, you have a really cool program with your team that you do that, right? That it's important.
Yeah, every facility needs to develop 15 good business relationships within the market to have those referral relationships as well. And so that's, your apartment complexes, your movers, your lawyers, your community centers that have, that usually someone that has need for storage will go to first. And so just making sure that we're top of mind and have that avenue. So thanks, Holly, for bringing that up.
I think that's great, Holly, because I think that.
Go ahead, Andrew.
I think for a private operator, that could be a huge differentiator, getting out there and becoming part of the community. So totally agree there.
It is. And I mean, honestly, with, sorry to say it, but I'm going to say it, with some of the REIT activity and the awareness on, rate and rate controls, makes the local guy look like the hero, So they should be the hero. And some people don't want to deal with big box retailers, they just don't. They want to shop local. It's a great way to do that.
Well, not only that, but I would say almost 2/3 when they start their journey or their need for self-storage do not have something in mind or a place in mind that they want to. But when they go online, they will only make that decision based upon a name that they know. And so, that's the case too for local marketing, is that brand awareness piece.
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely. I think the REITs and how they choose to do business and continue to choose to do business has really created an opportunity for the local independent folks to, like you said, Jessica, be that hero and really find a lane in the community. The local marketing efforts, while there's those street fairs are disappearing. So when they do come up, it's more nostalgia. And I don't know about you guys, but as a child of the 80s, the only thing I have left is nostalgia. So seeing those events pop up in towns, in my opinion, really continues to generate a hell of a crowd and more interest than ever before. And my feeling is if we keep giving away our crap at these street fairs, they're going to need a place to put it. So come on back over. And, but the local marketing, it's just it's driving a lot of business. It still surprises me.
Do you feel that the customer journey has definitely shifted, right? So we've seen, especially, I said we'll get away from AI. We're kind of going back to AI. But from an overall standpoint, have we seen the customer journey, is it significantly different today than it was 10 years ago? Or is it really the tools that we're using that are changing?
I think it's the latter, right? The tools are changing. And the reason I say that is because storage is still not something where I can keep serving you an ad for and then you impulsively buy, right? You have to have a need for it. And so that need is what starts the customer journey. And then, like to your point, the tools have changed. When I entered self-storage, we still had some yellow book ads, right? And so that's where someone would go for that information. Now they're just using, I'm a big Claude user. So they're now, just going to Claude and going through that channel. So I think to your point, I think the customer journey stays the same because they have to have a need for storage with our industry. But it's just the tools are different.
So nobody is willing to admit that they're still doing a single truck or double truck ad in the yellow pages. That's not damn it. Okay. All right.
Is your name AAA storage too?
No, not anymore.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, I think the customer journey is still the same, but I think there's new expectations, right? Dynamic pricing, convenience, being able to pick your own unit. That's relatively newer in our space. But consumers are used to that from like the airline space or self-checkout at, Target. I always joke and say I'm still waiting for the holiday invitation because I'm their best employee at Target because I don't even bother them. I do everything on my own. So I think, I think the consumer, it's just shifting with the digital era and us being, more self-service than we've ever been before in our entire lives. And a lot of people liking that. I mean, I have children that are in like their early 20s. I call them, they hang up and I get a text message. What do you want? Well, I wanted to talk to you, but they don't want to talk. So like meeting, your consumer base through the different channels, and you have to have a variety of channels, especially if you have a variety of a consumer base. I just did a roundtable last week about, the tech stack and kind of where operators get the tech stack wrong. If I'm in a super rural tertiary market, secondary market, like I'm probably not going full tech stack. The consumer's not going to tolerate it and use it. You're in a major MSA, downtown New York, like you better be full tech stack because that's what they expect. So it's really, really need to study customer behavior and know how to react to it. And it is not a one size fits all. You have to have a variety of sources for them.
I think when I think back 10 years ago, right, like what was happening in 2016, I think we were still having the argument if you're supposed to put your rates online and like kind of, hit the nail on the head when we talked about like self-service options are more prolific now. When in the past, what happened rentals were walk-ins, so we would rely on the resident or storage manager to be able to kind of educate all the way through the process. So I think I think it has changed, but I think we've enabled customers, to Jessica's point, to do business how they want to do business rather than, to have to rely on the person behind the counter as much.
Yeah.
And that can have almost like the flip reverse effect, right? Because like we are now used to like the self-service. If I go onto a website and I have to dig for information, it's not readily available, or I can't transact right then and there. On to the next one I'm going, so again, these are important things to be tracking and looking at.
I think too, just the access to information too. Like, I mean, not just because I'm in this industry, but like 10 years ago, I don't think most people knew what a 5x5 actually would fit, right? And now we're able to show that through AI. Like, you take a picture of your stuff and upload it, and we can tell you that this is going to fit in a 10x10 or those type of things. So just that access to information, I think, has changed as well.
Definitely. Access is a boutique third-party management company focused on helping self-storage owners maximize revenue, streamline operations, and deliver exceptional customer experience. Our philosophy is simple: transparent partnerships, local expertise, and strategies tailored to your property. Not a one-size-fits-all playbook. Visit accessselfstorage.com to learn more. Now, back to the show.
I want to shift gears. All three of you are heavily involved in the self-storage associations, both locally, statewide, and nationally. 3 former state presidents, Florida, Pennsylvania, and current. Melissa's the current PASSA president. Why is it worth it? Why do the SSA meetings and associations mean so much to you? Tell us a little bit about your experience with that. We'll start with sitting Madam President, Melissa.
Education's number one, obviously, with that, and I'll let Jessica and Holly hit that. But I think within the storage industry, it's so important because of all of the legislation. There's so much legislation right now, and really, diving into the SSA and understanding that, and being part of that, whether it's calling your senators and helping with that, is really important. But the SSA is really the driving behind that and protecting the industry.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And I've been on 2 different boards, one that was ran by National and one that was ran by a different group and now is being run by National. So I've seen both sides. Heavily prefer National running us. It's been a blessing having them do it. I mean, they've got it buttoned up, right? They do this all year long. And no matter what industry you're in, there's some level of an association. And why, as a small business owner, wouldn't you want to join forces and protect your industry, protect your business, and join others that want to do the same thing? It's been ultimately rewarding for me in my career, especially from the vendor side. Gotten a ton of business from, being part of the board, being part of the membership. And I think it's critical. And, the boards I've been part of, it's genuinely other members of the industry that truly care, truly want the betterment for the industry, trying to come up with new and innovative ideas for, Holly and Melissa see it with Pennsylvania, and Florida and others, networking nights at baseball games. So it's not just always like education, like we want to have some fun too. And that's where like the real magic happens. Like I attend trade shows all year long. I don't get business in my trade show booth. I get business at night at dinners or at networking events, etc. So I think it just elevates you from an educational perspective, from a networking perspective, a career perspective. It's great to have it on your resume that you've been part of, association boards and have helped shape your industry.
Yeah.
The SSA is basically the guardian of the industry, right? And the legislation, obviously, Melissa said, is very important. But I think it's really important, too, for operators to come. So they're learning like best practices all around, which will protect us from future legislation. I think that's really important. And for me, too, it's the relationships, kind of like what Jess was saying about, the time off the show floor is really the most meaningful. Again, being able to be part of the deal that Peter put together is relationships from meeting him at a conference. And then there's so much. And like we kind of touched on this earlier about how like we don't leave self-storage, right? And it's a very special industry because of that. I don't know if there are a lot of other industries out there where people just don't leave. Like you end up being coworkers or clients. Like Melissa was one of my first clients, and I actually worked at the company where Jessica's working now. Like there's just so much overlap. And I feel like the associations and conferences are where we all get together and kind of develop those relationships and just move the industry forward.
Yeah. Yeah. The camaraderie is really incredible. Like you said, that is the magic. And also as more on the operator side and the operation side, knowing that you're doing it the right way. And if you're not doing it the right way, knowing who you can go to for help for free. A lot of folks will help you for $0. On the trade show floor, everybody is just really friggin' nice. And not every industry is like that and so open and welcoming. But my favorite part is when other operators ask questions and you realize, well, we're doing it a little different than them. So that's always my favorite revelation. But knowing that you're in it together is just really important, and that everybody else is going through that same stuff, whatever it is. Having those ears and shoulders
reverse on you guys, and Chris asked you guys, why do you attend shows? What could make a show more valuable for you?
Extra drink tickets. I mean, 2. Come on.
We'll have to get to say that feedback.
I would say that they're pretty valuable now. But we're mostly going for the relationships and the continued relationships and those networking opportunities. And we really like bringing our managers, more to the regional shows. I really enjoy the regional shows. We've gone to a number of state shows, but having it in a larger setting at maybe a nicer facility, really brings us together and allows us to bring more people. But the education for our managers, and, sometimes your managers look at you like you got 3 heads. So again, when you bring them and they hear the other concerns from some of the other operators, say, we know what we're doing. This is okay. But I would say that the education is tremendous. And, the speakers are always dynamic.
Yeah, I agree with Chris. And I think it's the education for us too, because we get to, a lot of times we're going to these local or regional shows and we're seeing the 3 of you talk, and the 3 of you are experts in what you do. So even, myself, I've been in marketing for, 18, 19 years now. But I'm still learning, obviously, about the industry and how to market the industry. Because when you're coming from other industries, it's just a different animal. So it's very valuable from a learning standpoint. But I agree with Chris. Maybe a 3rd or 4th drink ticket would make this.
And I don't know how Holly and Melissa feel about this, but this is how I feel. Even when I'm part of like a panel or something like this, or just I learn. I learn from the audience too. Like the audience will chime in and say, we're doing it this way. And I'm like, oh, they're on to something,
Mm-hmm.
So I think the learning's full cycle. While we tend to be ones up there providing some of the learning, I get fully educated every time I go to a show. And I will map my show out every time before I go, like to specific sessions I know I don't want to miss. And I make sure I don't schedule meetings during that time. And, I used to say oh my God, another Google business profile session. But I have a different view on that now, because now I'm taking the positive approach of I'm going to go to it anyway. And I promise you, every time I come out of it, there has been something said that I hadn't heard before, or maybe it was said before and I wasn't dialed fully in at the time it was said. So there's always opportunities to gain those nuggets, whether you're speaking or attending.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You ready to go to the lightning round, Andrew?
Sure.
Okay. So we have a lightning round we do every podcast, where we're just going to shoot rapid fire questions at you. Answer them as honestly and quickly as you can. Okay, here we go. Melissa, first concert you ever attended?
Boys to Men.
Nice. Man, that's like the 3rd Boys to Men answer.
Famous Gary V.
Gary V's
Excellent.
was
Yeah,
too.
Gary V, Boys to Men.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So-
Where'd you see
wow.
them? Do you remember where it was?
Here in York.
Nice. Most recent concert you attended?
Stevie Nicks,
Oh, awesome.
Nice.
Where was that and when?
Atlantic City in November or October.
Her voice
Nice.
still incredible?
Yes, very good.
Nice. Holly, we know Blue Oyster Cult was the first. Most recent?
Gosh, Melissa, what was you
We
came
just
here
saw
and we
Nelly.
went Nelly. Yep,
Yeah.
Nelly.
Nice.
Nice. Excellent. Excellent. Jessica, first concert and most recent concert.
First concert was Aerosmith. I'm dating myself. Woo! I'm dating myself.
Awesome.
But it was awesome. I've seen them a couple times too. And most recent, I just went to a reggae show last Sunday. It was Tribal Seeds, Soja, and Iration. I've seen Iration a few times. I saw Soja one other time, but didn't really know who they were at the time. So I was super excited to see them. But I'm going to say Tribal Seeds, who was the opener, knocked both of them out of the park. So now I have a new appreciation for Tribal Seeds. So super fun night.
Awesome. That's terrific.
Yeah.
Jessica, favorite morning beverage?
Coffee or Coca-Cola. But I stopped drinking soda Monday, and I'm not okay, by
How's
the way.
it going? Yeah, okay. All right.
It's been rough.
Great. Need to
No
get you like
soda,
a
no
McDonald's
sweet tea.
Coke or something, the good stuff?
Oh my God, I love a crispy McDonald's Coke, but I'm really trying to drink more water, so I have not had any sweet tea or soda all week, and it's been tough.
Well, good luck through the holiday weekend.
Yeah, thank you.
Holly, morning beverage?
Definitely a coffee too. I can pick whatever I want. I would like the brown sugar iced shaken espresso from Starbucks.
That sounds good.
So good. I love it.
All right,
That
nice.
sounds so good.
Melissa,
I am a loose leaf tea girl, so different loose leaf teas. I don't drink coffee, but love some loose leaf tea in the morning.
what kind of colander do you put? Do you pour the whole thing? How does that work? Explain that.
So I have an electric kettle, and then I
Okay.
have you can buy just like tea bags off, like empty tea bags, and then I just fill them with
You're
whatever
producing
tea.
your own tea bags at the house.
I mean, I'm buying them off of Amazon and then stuffing them.
No, let's not reduce what we're doing at home.
Yeah.
Wow. That's true. We're all going to your house for loose leaf tea and finding out what tea means. Okay. Summertime is coming up. Lake or ocean? Melissa.
Any body of water, but ocean. I just sold my beach house though, but still ocean.
Oh, what beach?
Lewis.
Oh, nice. I could go for a dogfish head right now, as a matter of fact. Sorry. Jessica, lake or ocean?
I'm going to go ocean. I'm a Florida girl. I'm 45 minutes from the Atlantic. It's beautiful. And then to get over to the Gulf side, that takes about like 5 hours for me. I mean, there's beautiful lakes, but definitely ocean.
Yeah. Holly?
Well, I do love the Great Lakes. Very, very much so. I am also an ocean girly. Like the seashells and just it's the smell and it's just wonderful.
Yeah, I agree. I like the ocean, but mostly it's because, the 75-pound wagon full of shit that you got to drag the 3/4 of a mile from the street to the beach edge there. Yeah, that's my
always
favorite
fun.
part. Yeah, it's great. All right. That's it. You've survived. You've survived the No Vacancy podcast.
Yay, that was fun.
Do we get stickers?
Yes, as long as you
Yes.
choose. Yes, absolutely. Thank you all for your time. We really appreciate it.
Thank you guys. This was
Yeah.
fun.
Thank you.
guys.
Thank you
Super
all.
fun.
And that's a wrap on another episode of No Vacancy. Huge thank you again to Holly Fiorello, Jessica Johnson, and Melissa Stiles for joining us and bringing real insight, real stories, and a ton of perspective to the conversation. From marketing and customer experience to leadership and where this industry is headed, this one had a little bit of everything. Until next time, keep the doors open, the unit's full, and we'll see you on the next episode of No Vacancy.